It's that time of year again. Halloween is upon us. If you're looking for more horror movies to watch this season that bring all the spooky vibes of our favorite time of the year, Halloween, then you have come to the right place. Maybe you'll find something you've never seen before. Join us now as we list 13 more horror movies to watch for Halloween. But before we begin, if you haven't watched our first Halloween horror list, there is a link for it below. Check it out if you dare. Be sure to slash that like button and make sure you're subscribed, as we are always posting horror-related content and will definitely be posting more lists just like this one. So light up that jack-o'-lantern and enjoy. Idle Hands from 1999. A quirky and offbeat horror comedy from the late 90s, Idle Hands follows a teenage stoner whose right hand becomes possessed with murderous intent. Devon Sawa, who many will recognize from Final Destination, stars as Anton, the slacker-turned-reluctant hero. The supporting cast is stacked with familiar faces, including Seth Green, Eldon Henson, Jessica Alba, and Vivica A. Fox. Horror fans will also spot Sean Whalen, best known as Roach from Wes Craven's underrated 1993 classic, The People Under the Stairs, in a fun role as one of the town's police officers. The story begins on Halloween morning and carries throughout the day, closing at a Halloween dance where everyone is decked out in costumes. The film's comedic gore and outrageous tone make it feel like a late-night party flick, with the showdown at the dance sealing its seasonal vibe. And of course, Devon Sawa's ongoing battle with his possessed hand calls back to Ash's infamous fight in Evil Dead 2, a clear source of inspiration and one of the movie's biggest strengths. Idle Hands feels tailor-made for the spooky season. It's the kind of film that blends laughs, gore, and Halloween spirit into a nostalgic late 90s time capsule that still makes for a perfect October watch. Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers from 1988. It's been 10 years since the terrifying events that took place during Halloween and Halloween 2. Michael Myers, who somehow survived the fiery explosion at the end of the second film, awakens on Halloween Eve and makes his way back to Haddonfield with a new target in mind: his 7-year-old niece. Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers delivers one of the most atmospheric opening credits possibly ever put to film. The chilling shots of barren farmland, creaking windmills, and weathered Halloween decorations instantly set the mood. Returning in Halloween 4 is Donald Pleasance as the ever-relentless Dr. Loomis, who, much like Michael, somehow survived the explosion from the end of Halloween 2. The film also introduces Michael's young niece, Jamie Lloyd, played by Danielle Harris, in her feature film debut, a role that would cement her as a fan favorite in the franchise. Rounding out the family dynamic is Ellie Cornell as Rachel, Jamie's caring foster sister, who quickly becomes one of the standout final girl figures of the sequels. Behind the mask of the Shape this time is the late George P. Wilbur, who holds the distinction of being the first actor to play Michael Myers more than once, later reprising the role in Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers in 1996. Fun fact: Tom Morga, who played the imposter Jason Roy in Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, was originally cast to play the Shape in Halloween 4. Although eventually recast, Morga still appears earlier in the film as the heavily bandaged Michael Myers. While carving out a new chapter in the Myers legacy, Halloween 4 surrounds itself with eerie autumn atmosphere and the unmistakable spirit of the holiday, making it a classic October watch. Pumpkinhead from 1988. After a tragic accident, a grieving man summons Pumpkinhead, a monstrous demon of vengeance, to exact retribution on a group of teenagers. The film marks the directorial debut of the late Stan Winston, a legendary special effects artist whose work helped shape iconic franchises like Terminator, Alien, and Jurassic Park. Pumpkinhead also stars genre favorite Lance Hendrickson, best known as Bishop in the Alien series. Though it doesn't directly tie into Halloween, the film radiates a fall atmosphere. Much of the cinematography bathes scenes in warm orange light, and the creature itself rises from a weathered pumpkin patch. Instead of costumes, decorations, or trick-or-treating, Pumpkinhead delivers a chilling mix of folk horror and slasher elements. The foggy woods, rustic cabins, and decaying rural landscapes lend the movie an eerie, timeless quality. It may not scream Halloween in the traditional sense, but the film's haunting atmosphere and the iconic design of Pumpkinhead make it a perfect seasonal watch, especially when you're in the mood for something a little darker, creepier, and steeped in folklore. Scary Movie from 1991. No, not that scary movie. This 1991 oddity follows a paranoid teenager who becomes convinced an escaped lunatic is hiding inside the local haunted house, slowly making him lose his grip on reality. The film stars John Hawkes long before his acclaimed performances in Winter's Bone and Martha Marcy May Marlene. Butch Patrick also makes an appearance, who is best remembered as Eddie Munster. Blending paranoia with playful Halloween imagery, Scary Movie stands out as one of the earlier examples of the haunted house gone wrong subgenre of Halloween horror. With its loving nods to retro decorations, costumes, and that creaky small-town vibe, it instantly radiates that unmistakable October atmosphere. Quirky, campy, and drenched in seasonal spirit, it's a strange little gem best enjoyed during spooky season movie nights. Hell Night from 1981. 4 college pledges are locked inside of an abandoned mansion and forced to spend the night as part of a hazing ritual, only to discover they aren't alone. The lone survivor of a past family massacre still lurks in the shadows. Hell Night stars Linda Blair of The Exorcist fame, alongside Peter Barton, best known to horror fans as Doug in Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. While the movie doesn't explicitly state that it takes place around Halloween, the title works on 2 levels. Not only does Hell Night refer to college hazing traditions, it's also another name for the night before Halloween, aka Mischief Night. Add in the fact that all of the college kids are wearing costumes, the creepy mansion backdrop that is reminiscent of a haunted house, and a slasher hiding in the shadows. Hell Night shapes up to be an 80s horror gem that slots perfectly into any Halloween watch list. House of a Thousand Corpses from 2003. Rob Zombie's directorial debut, House of a Thousand Corpses, follows 2 young couples on a cross-country trip as they research offbeat roadside attractions. Their adventure takes a dark turn when they fall into the clutches of the sadistic Firefly family, a deranged backwoods clan of killers. As Mother Firefly points out in the film, the events unfold on Halloween Eve, adding an extra layer of macabre atmosphere to the madness. The Firefly house itself feels like something ripped right out of a haunted attraction, complete with light Halloween decorations, grotesque oddities, and a carnival-like atmosphere. By the climax, the characters even don costumes to ring in Halloween. Combined with Rob Zombie's frenetic directing style and the film's bizarre energy, it makes for a wild, offbeat choice to throw on during the Halloween season. House of a Thousand Corpses stars Bill Moseley, who will forever be remembered as Chop Top in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, the late Sid Haig as the unhinged but oddly charming Captain Spaulding, the late Tom Tells as Detective Wydell, who I'll always remember from Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. You'll also spot a young Walter Goggins, Rainn Wilson before The Office, and Chris Hardwick, who the real OGs will remember from MTV's Singled Out. I'll admit, when I first saw House of a Thousand Corpses in theaters on opening day, after skipping school with some friends, I didn't enjoy it much. But over the years, it's really grown on me. What once felt messy now feels like a grungy, demented carnival ride that perfectly captures Rob Zombie's chaotic vision of horror. Hollowgate from 1988. 4 teenagers agreed to deliver a package of Halloween costumes for a shop owner on their way to a party. Unfortunately, their simple errand takes a dark turn when they arrive at a remote mansion where the sole resident has sinister plans of his own. Addison Randell stars as the deranged killer, a man with a troubled past who steals the show with an oddly amusing performance. His character is torn between the hatred of Halloween, rooted in childhood trauma, and a twisted fascination with it, donning costumes to carry out his murders. The film is full of absurd death scenes, including one where the killer chases a victim with a slow-moving farming tractor. And then there are little oddities, like a diner table inexplicably placed in what looks like the middle of a grocery store aisle, that only add to its campy charm. While Hollowgate will never be mistaken for a masterpiece, it delivers guilty pleasure entertainment with its over-the-top violence, oddball quirks, and Halloween-infused revenge themes. It's a fun movie, and that is exactly what makes it worth a watch around Halloween. The Funhouse Massacre from 2015. 6 of the world's most deranged serial killers escape from an asylum and descend upon an unsuspecting Halloween funhouse, turning the attraction into a blood-soaked nightmare. Funhouse Massacre features a lot of familiar faces. The cult favorite Clint Howard appears as one of the deranged killers. E.E. Bell is in the film as well, who some of you might remember as Bob Rooney on Married with Children. Courtney Gaines, who played the ever-so-strange Hans in Joe Dante's The Burbs, and also Malachi in the 1984 original Children of the Corn. There is also an appearance, be it brief, by the legendary Robert Englund. If you don't know who that is, well, I feel bad for you. What makes Funhouse Massacre so entertaining is its lineup of killers, each with their own MO and twisted personality. Among them, my favorite is Rocco the Clown, played by the 6'8" Mars Crane, a hulking slasher-style figure who would feel right at home in any 80s horror film. Meanwhile, the main group of unfortunate characters are decked out in Halloween costumes and trapped inside of a haunted attraction loaded with seasonal imagery. Adding authenticity, the movie was filmed at the real-life Land of Illusion Scream Park in Middleton, Ohio, with gallons of blood, wall-to-wall Halloween atmosphere, and a streak of dark humor. Funhouse Massacre is an entertaining seasonal slasher that absolutely earns its spot on an October watch list. Night of the Demons 2 from 1994. A group of students attending a Catholic boarding school are punished for their behavior and banned from the Halloween dance. Determined not to miss out, they sneak away to throw their own party, only to discover the mansion they choose is haunted by demons. Amelia Kincaid returns as Angela, now sporting a striking new haircut, while Christine Taylor, who would play Marsha Brady in the Brady Bunch movie the following year, joins the cast. Bobby Jacoby, best remembered as the hapless Melvin in 1990's Tremors, also co-stars. Special effects makeup artist Steve Johnson, who brought the original film's wild visuals to life, is back to sprinkle his magic once again. Night of the Demons 2 may not reach the heights of Kevin Tenney's 1988 original, but it still delivers plenty of Halloween spirit. With costumed parties, demonic mayhem, and gooey practical effects, it feels like a rowdy seasonal horror flick tailor-made for October viewing. It's the kind of movie that doesn't take itself too seriously, embracing campy fun and outrageous set pieces that make it a perfect addition to any Halloween movie marathon. The Midnight Hour from 1985. An ABC television movie that aired the day after Halloween in 1985, The Midnight Hour follows a group of friends who unwittingly raise the dead on Halloween night, plunging the town of Pitchford Cove into chaos. Campy, fun, and very much a product of its decade, The Midnight Hour offers a little something for everyone. Horror, comedy, witches, vampires, zombies, werewolves, and even a touch of romance. LeVar Burton shows up in a small role instantly recognizable from Star Trek and Reading Rainbow, while Kurtwood Smith plays one of the town's police officers. Most people know him from That 70s Show, but I'll always remember him as the ruthless Clarence Bartaker from RoboCop. One of the film's most unexpected highlights is the full-blown song and dance number clearly inspired by Michael Jackson's Thriller. Actress Sherry Belafonte absolutely owns the moment with her performance of Get Dead, a catchy tune that adds a perfect dose of 80s charm. It's so infectious, I found myself replaying the song long after the credits rolled. Everybody should try it. For all of its quirks, The Midnight Hour captures the playful, spooky energy of the holiday and feels like a made-for-TV time capsule of Halloween in the 80s. A lighthearted seasonal treat that is best enjoyed with a blanket and some candy. American Fright Fest from 2018. A small town enlists a washed-up Hollywood director, who also happens to be a local, to turn an abandoned asylum into a full-blown haunted attraction. But the scares turn fatally real when an escaped convict crashes the Fright Fest, leaving a trail of terror in his wake. Dylan Walsh stars as Spencer Crowe, the boozed-soaked horror mastermind director overseeing the Fright Fest. You might remember him from the So Bad It's Good Congo from 1995 and the laughably bad Stepfather remake. Also on hand is Poncho Moller, familiar from Rob Zombie's 31 and 3 from Hell, who plays Spencer's loyal assistant. American Fright Fest is an indie slasher packed with everything you would expect from a Halloween haunted attraction brought to life on screen. Actors in costumes, grisly props, roaring chainsaws, and an atmosphere dripped with seasonal fun. Dylan Walsh steals the show as Spencer Crowe, even though he plays the most unlikable character. While the use of the real-life Pennhurst Asylum in Spring City, Pennsylvania, gives the film an authentic edge. The asylum doubles as a genuine haunted attraction during the Halloween season, making it the perfect backdrop for the blood-soaked mayhem. The result is a scrappy but undeniably entertaining slasher that captures the chaotic energy of a night at a haunted house gone horribly wrong, making it an easy pick for Halloween viewing. Terrifier 2 from 2022. After being resurrected, Art the Clown returns to Miles County to terrorize a teenage girl along with her friends and family on Halloween night. Writer and director Damien Leone, the mastermind behind everything Art the Clown, delivers what many consider his magnum opus, at least for now. David Howard Thornton is back as the diabolical yet oddly endearing Art the Clown, while Lauren Lavera shines as Sienna, a fierce and unforgettable final girl. Terrifier 2 lands heavily into the Halloween atmosphere, with standout sequences in a Halloween store, a Halloween costume party, and a blood-soaked climax inside a haunted house at a carnival. The film drips with seasonal spirit in every frame. While the Terrifier series is not for everyone thanks to its unapologetic extremes of blood and gore, if you can stomach it, however, Terrifier 2 is a bold, brutal, and perfectly sinister watch for the Halloween season. Ernest Scared Stupid from 1991. If you aren't familiar with the Ernest character, he was a dim-witted but kind-hearted goofball who first popped up in local television ads before going on to star in a string of movies throughout the late 80s and 90s. Played by the late Jim Varney, Ernest P. Worrell was always recognizable in his signature baseball cap and vest. In Ernest Scared Stupid, our lovable but clueless hero accidentally unleashes an ugly troll on the town of Briarville, a monster that turns children into wooden dolls. While the film carries a PG rating and is aimed at kids, it still holds up surprisingly well. I used to watch it constantly as a kid, and revisiting it as an adult was just as much fun. The movie oozes Halloween atmosphere, jack-o'-lanterns, costumes, trick-or-treating, and even a school dance. And best of all, the creature effects are 100% practical, and they still look disgustingly awesome to this day. A fun bit of trivia, Eartha Kitt, who plays the eccentric old lady Hackmore, is the same Eartha Kitt famous for singing the classic holiday tune Santa Baby back in 1953. On top of that, the creature effects were designed by the Chioda brothers, Charles, Edward, and Stephen, the masterminds behind 1988's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. While they've denied it, two of the trolls in the movie look suspiciously similar to some of the Killer Clown creations. Coincidence or a hidden Easter egg? What do you think? Well, that's our list. If you have any Halloween-related horror movies or just any horror movie you feel captures the vibes of Halloween, October, and the fall season, let us know in the comments. Perhaps it will end up on the next list. Once again, don't forget to subscribe for more horror-related content like this. Until next time.